So any criminal that has ever gotten out of jail and committed again is the fault of BLM. So you're saying that the state or the county should be able to look into the future and look at this guy who fits the bill of someone that should be able to let out of prison because he didn't murder anyone before this.
No, he just had a history of attacking women. And that's exactly what he did when he got out. He attacked women, right? So I'm not saying they look into the future. My solution is violent criminals go to jail. End of story, period.
About BLM, how is this connected at all to Black Lives Matter movement?
So because of the policies that were implemented and supported.
What policies?
So for example, like the North Carolina Task Force on Racial Equity, bail reform, also the risk assessment tool that's used here in Mecklenburg County.
In North Carolina County.
Yes, Mecklenburg County, right here in Charlotte, right? So the risk assessment tool that basically determines whether or not people should be released from jail pre-trial without bail. And then also the Justice Challenge, which is funded by the MacArthur Institute with the stated goal of reducing the jail population. How do you do that? Well, you release people from jail. All of those things contributed to this guy's release. They were all influenced by BLM. So he was able to be out of jail after 14 mostly violent priors.
What were the
so that she could be killed.
What were the crimes?
Robbery, larceny. He actually had 2 separate incidents in 2 separate years of assaulting a female, 2 separate women. And he was released from jail. So he has a violent history of attacking women, and he's out of jail because of the reforms.
In this swing state, you're saying that's controlled by Republicans, the House, the state House, our state legislature. Any law that's had been passed, it's had to go by the state legislature.
Right, but this is a blue city. The city's blue.
Yeah. But we've had Republican district attorneys, we have Republican judges. You know, it's not. This isn't a Democratic.
So did I state more North Carolina policies or more Mecklenburg County policies?
Let me continue. All right, and you're saying these programs were inspired by BLM and they allowed this guy to kill.
Yes.
So any criminal that has ever gotten out of jail and committed again is the fault of BLM. So you're saying that the state or the county should be able to look into the future and look at this guy who fits the bill of someone that should be able to let out of prison because he didn't murder anyone before this.
No, he just had a history of attacking women. And that's exactly what he did when he got out. He attacked women, right? So I'm not saying they look into the future. My solution is violent criminals go to jail. End of story, period. We're done, right?
I mean,
that's my solution.
I don't know the details of his case, right? But clearly, I don't know the details of his case, of his prior cases, right?
How's it going? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Ken.
I don't know the details of his prior case, right? But if he met the conditions to be released, then he had to be released.
He met the conditions of release because the conditions were changed by BLM.
And these bills got passed in the wake of BLM.
Yes, and they got passed here in Mecklenburg County, not North Carolina. Right, so I cited you one thing from North Carolina as a state, and the rest of it was all Mecklenburg County, which is the county where Charlotte is. So all of these are Charlotte policies. Charlotte is a blue city. So these are all Charlotte policies, right? That allowed this guy to get out of jail and kill her. And by the way, this sign would be the same if he was white. If he was white, I'd still blame BLM.
If he was white?
If he was white, I'd still blame BLM. Because the reforms exist, and the reforms don't say let all the black people out of jail. They say let everybody out of jail, right?
Really?
And so if he was white, I would still blame BLM. It has nothing to do with this race.
I feel like we're having 2 different conversations, right? I'm saying right now that this guy, his problem was that he has mental health problems, and there was no effective way that we right now are addressing that as a society. And I don't think putting him in jail, because he went to jail multiple times.
Yeah, and then he was released.
That clearly didn't work to solve the problem. If we have a society that actually works to help people,
that's different. Jail is pre-trial, prison is post-trial.
Okay, so prisons wouldn't help him either.
Wait, yes it would. It wouldn't have helped him, but it would have helped her, right? If he was in jail, he wouldn't be on the streets, and she'd be alive.
We have to work to make sure that something like this is not ever going to happen.
Yeah, and I say,
what if this guy never went to jail, right? Because he's diagnosed schizophrenic. So if he had no problems before, and he
wasn't a diagnosed schizophrenic.
I've been told that he has schizophrenia. Right?
You can be told that, but he's not a diagnosed schizophrenic. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, again, it's not about helping him, it's about helping her.
If he had never went to jail, had no problems, and still killed her, she would still be dead. We need to actually fix him, so that fixes homeless people where they're at now, get equitable programs to help get them to a solution where they can get back to society, get back to society and can build themselves to a good, sustainable life. If you just throw them in jail, and then once they meet their time, it's going back out onto the street, shit like this is going to happen because you're not actually solving the
definitely not. The fact of the matter is, he did have priors, he did kill her, and he was released from jail.
But guess what? This is the first instance.
And the only reason that was able to happen is because of the policies that BLM put in place.